Yeah. Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir. Here is a group one. My name is Ajit Singh. Here is my group member. Today we discuss about the SIM4 project. How was our experience and what we lesson learned from this project. Next, in this presentation, we discuss about SIM4 project. It is basically a web-based computer simulation technique that is intended to teach the principles of project management. Basically, it gives about the information about how we manage our cost and time during the project processes and phases. And also we can know about how we assign our source, how we manage our source to a different task. It allows an instructor to set up simulation, form teams of students, and illustrate and practice project management. It also help to a valuable tool for training successful generation of future project manager. In the past, this approach was necessary because formal project management training was often lacking and options such as project simulation non-existent. Next slide. In this presentation, we discuss about 12 periods that we done during the project. Talk about our first lesson, first period. That is not well doing. In this period, we did not doing well in this period because we cannot manage our time and cost due to we release our sources that we required in the project. However, we manage the functionality completely, which means we hide the useful sources. Next slide will be continued by Manmohit.
Hi everyone, this is Manmohit. So today we are discussing about the lesson learned from the SIM project. So I'm continuing the periods from 2 to 4 and moving on. So in between the period of 2 to 4, we manage the resources very efficiently. Also, we manage the stakeholder as well. In the period 4, we were a little worried about the time because we didn't get enough time. So and also we start adding more resources that can help to manage that time. So by adding that resources, we also affect our budget because of the resources. The more the resources, the more cost will be in the project. So after that, we start using to maintain that schedule and cost factor. In the period 5 to 8, we we work well. In this period, we efficiently manage the efficiency, cohesiveness, and comparatively, which is around 70 to 85%. And also, we are in the budget. There are different things which need to be improved in a particular area, like team longevity, which need to be improved, which is very low during this phase. And we didn't hire any resources. We hired resources actually in period 6, but we didn't use that resource. So that resource cost added to the project, which is unwanted cost. And to solve that problem, we keep keep the track of the budget and also maintain the proper assigning of the resources. And from the period 9 to 12, from period 9 to 12, we worked well. In this, we maintain the budget, teamwork, also as well as the scheduling. In this, we also maintained the resource allocation, unwanted cost. In this particular periods, unwanted cost is almost zero. But in period 9, there was some cost which need to be reduced. So to tackle that, we uh, did uh, we reduced over allocation of the resources. But in period 10 and 11, 10 to 12, we lost our budget because we are out of the cost for the project, and that can be shown in the red uh, characters, so that we have to maintain that. So after that, the scheduling of the period 10th and 11 is need to be enhanced because we suffer from time as well. So next slide will be continuous by the Jashan.
Hello everyone, this side Jashandeep Singh. I'll continue from this side. Next slide please. Okay, I will continue from 9th to 12th period. In 9th period, what worked well in during this period? In budgeted and teamwork and yeah, hi, this is Jashandeep Singh. Now I will discuss the what are the strategies that we have applied during this project. Firstly, during the start of the period one, our, our strategy was our strategy was to bid on the resource which are in our budget, and those who have a good skills and experience. We want to hire the hire our resources within our budget, and we have calculated cost of each period resource, and we bid accordingly, so that we cannot go the over the budget. The another strategy important thing we have applied to our project is that we started bidding more than one resource. We have bidded on two resource, like we have in our project we have two rough carpenters, so that we can divide the work accordingly, and this will not give extra burden to one person only. So this worked well for us. uh, Next slide please. Yeah, this chart shows the trend which has been followed during the first period till the 12th period. It has four. You can see it has four lines. One represent the cost, another one time, one stakeholder, and another one functionality. We were up to the mark according to the functionality. We were always 100% in functionality, which means we have applied right person to the right work. Uh, in the starting of the period one, we were not up to mark. Actually, we were struggling with the cost and time, as we were not familiar with this project. So we have released all our resources before the closing of period one. So that's why our cost and time is showing that it's a 0%. After that, we have tried to improve ourselves, and you can see there is a steady growth after that. We were also good with the stakeholder, which means we have satisfied our internal and external stakeholders. As same goes with the stakeholder, we were when we started this project during period one and period two, we were struggling with stakeholder, but after that we have done very well. Next slide please. Ranking. Yes. Yes, Group 1 strategies all went according to our plan. We were able to purchase the resource within budget in each time. So we were very close to the 100%, uh, except the initial phase of our project. Due to our good planning and good communication between all team members, we have attained second position in all periods except the first one. We were very close to the first one. Um, yeah, but we can only get the second position. Now my friend Navdeep will continue from next slide.
Hello everyone, I am Navdeep. Here I describe about the turning point in our project. Uh, in the whole project, our performance remained constant as we were on second position. in all project rather than first period. When I talk about the first period, our team fired some resources by mistake before the completion of period. So we were on fifth position and also learned when to release resources. And in second, during the period 3 to 5, we were struggling with time. Then our team changed the strategy so we were able to improve our team over each period. Next slide, please. At last, if we changed our way from starting of assigning required resource at right task, then it would definitely helpful to improve time of each task as well as performance. And that's all about turning point. Next slide will be explained by Maninder.
Hello. So now I will talk about thoughts on SIM project. In most of the period, Group 1 performance was up to the mark. We were able to handle our project in terms of cost, functionality, and stakeholder, except for the time, as we were struggling throughout the period. But at the end of the project, we were able to attain sufficient success from time also. So I want to say that as 35% of the ranking in same project depend on time and cost. So all the teams should focus more on these two, so because to increase their performance. So next I will talk about what should have avoided or the secret for our optimal performance. Firstly, we should have avoided the firing of resources in period 1, as because of misunderstanding, I fired resources in period 1 and before the completion of period, so which resulted in our team coming at fifth position. So, and second one is we should have avoided spending too much budget on the resources which resulted in our bad performance in terms of cost. So this other area is secret for optimal performance. So a actually we use project manager instead of project manager. We use like electrical and plumber for their inspection field, and this proved to be very beneficial for us as we were able to save money, because as you know, project manager will take more money as compared to the other plumber and electrical resources. So this is the way. And moving forward, the important factors of effective decision making. So starting with the first one, the first one is return on investment. As in the project, we should spend on money on that resources which will able which will be so we can get investment on that resources. And second point is image and brand impact. As you know, a brand has big impact on like any project. Like we can talk about take any example, but like any famous company. So if they have like Apple, if they have good brand, then they obviously their product will sell more. And the third one is effect on resources. Like if we spend money on resources, we should get um, uh, we should get a good performance from them. So the fourth point is lost cost, opportunity cost. As we so if we are spending money on buying one thing, and then we were not able to buy the another thing, as we are already spend our money on one thing, so we should spend our money according to planning. So so I will take one example to explain. uh, as as our during our project, we hired project manager and other sources in project which will affect the performance of whole project. So we spend our money according to the plan, so that we can get good performance after spending too much money on them. So next slide will be presented by Gagandeep Singh.
Hello, my name is Gagandeep Singh. I'm going to talk about the gut feelings and the reasoning. So actually, I'm going to differentiate between the gut feelings and the reasoning. As we know that these both work, they are very helpful in the project. We can use either the gut feelings or the reasoning. First of all, we need to know what is gut feelings or reasoning. Suppose we have something to do in a project, and if you know the logic behind that work, if you know how to do that, then we can apply the reasoning to complete the work which is in the project. Sometimes we come across some situations or some work that we don't know how to do that, as we came across while dealing with the different periods from 1 to 12. But we had some good feelings about some work that we knew that okay, this should be done in this way. So we proceeded with the gut feelings, and finally we got our results, and we were right about that particular decision that we took for that work. Like I would like to talk about an situation that we came across when we were going through the period 7. Like we were confused on one of the tasks, which was like we were working on the exterior brickwork, and we didn't know who is going to finish that work, because we had different options. Like we had a carpenter or paving worker or concrete worker. So we didn't even have the logical reasoning behind that, because it was all of a sudden we had to make a decision. So we proceeded with the gut feelings. We thought that we should go with the carpenter. So our leader did that, and later on we found out that it was the right decision. So the main thing behind this is that if we don't have the proper reasoning, we can proceed with the gut feelings. If we have the we have the strong feelings about something, it can give you benefits in the later on if you proceed with the gut feelings. Next slide, please. So I would like to talk about the difficulties that we faced during the decision making process. First of all, we had difficulties while we were doing the bid on resources, because we were trying to bid the resources, but some of the resources, like we were not able to get some of the resources in the bidding process. The next difficulty we had was the cost management, because it we were working for the first time, and it was very difficult to manage the cost. Though we were able to achieve the second rank, and we were good enough to manage the cost, but still it was quite difficult in terms of the cost management. And the third one is that, as we had different members working on a particular team in our team, so we had different opinions from different team members, and it was quite difficult for a team leader to analyze each opinion and to come to a resulting point. And also it was not easy to identify a problem while working on that project. And as I said, that it was very difficult to reach on one point in a particular time period. Next slide. So we came up with some solutions, like how to overcome that. First was that we should understand the problem. It's very important to analyze the problem and should know how to deal with that problem. And it is also very important that the team leader discuss that problem with other teammates, so that they can provide the meaningful solutions for that problem. And then it's very important to define the roles and responsibilities clearly, so that each team member uh, understands his roles and responsibilities. And as we know that it's a duty of a leader to motivate each and every team member in a team, so that they can all work on a project and get the achievement. And in the last, I would like to talk about a situation that in the first period, uh, by mistake we release all the resources. We didn't know that we can't release the resources that are in the current group. So we learned that in the later periods, and as long as we were keeping the resources and not releasing them, we were getting the good results. So overall, we had a great experience in working this project, and this was our presentation. Thanks so much, sir. That's it.